Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. When you think about the Steelers, you think about a franchise with a rich history of success, a team that has been synonymous with resilience, tough football, and a tradition of winning that dates back to the Steel Curtain era. And right now, as we look toward the 2025 season, there's a buzz, a real sense that the landscape of the AFC North might be shifting in ways that could define the Steelers' future for years to come. The NFL is a league that never stops evolving, and Pittsburgh, with its passionate fan base and storied tradition, always seems to find a way to stay relevant, competitive, and hungry for more. Over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of chatter about the Steelers' latest moves, their draft picks, strategic adjustments, and how they're positioning themselves for what promises to be an intense upcoming season. You see, the AFC North has always been one of the most competitive divisions in the league, with the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and of course, the Steelers, all vying for supremacy. But this year, there's a growing sense that something big is on the horizon. And for Steelers fans, that's exciting because it means the team isn't standing still. They're actively shaping their roster, making strategic moves that could pay off big in the long run. One of the most intriguing developments recently has been the Steelers' approach to the quarterback position. As you all know, the quarterback is the heart and soul of any NFL team, and Pittsburgh has been quietly evaluating their options for the future. The current starter, Kenny Pickett, has shown flashes of brilliance, but the team's management isn't content to rest on that. They've been scouting potential upgrades and even considering veteran options to add depth and experience. This indicates a clear intention to build a more dynamic, versatile offense that can compete against any team in the league. Meanwhile, the defense remains the backbone of the Steelers' identity. As many of you know, the Steelers have long been celebrated for their formidable defense, often referred to as the Steel Curtain for a reason. The upcoming season might see some tweaks in their defensive lineup, but the core remains strong. Players like TJ Watt, who is arguably the best pass rusher in the league today, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, a safety who can change the game with his ball-hawking skills, continue to be the anchors of that unit. The Steelers have also invested in younger talent through the draft, aiming to sustain that gritty, relentless defensive style that has defined them for decades. Of course, the NFL offseason isn't just about what's happening on the field. It's also about strategy, team chemistry, and how organizations plan for the future. The Steelers' front office has been busy behind the scenes, working on cap management, scouting international prospects, and even exploring innovative training methods to ensure their players are in peak condition come September. This level of dedication is what has kept Pittsburgh competitive through the years, even in the face of fierce rivals who are always trying to catch up or surpass them. But what about the bigger picture? Well, as we look at the AFC North, it's impossible not to notice the shifts happening in other teams. The Ravens, for example, have invested heavily in their offense, drafting a new dynamic quarterback and beefing up their receiving core. The Bengals continue to develop their young star quarterback, Joe Burrow, alongside a talented group of skill position players. And the Browns, with their revamped roster and a new head coach, are trying to re-establish themselves as playoff contenders. All of this creates a fascinating backdrop for the Steelers, who are quietly building a team that could very well be the dark horse of the division in 2025. Now, let's talk about the draft. Pittsburgh's recent selections have been strategic, focusing on both immediate impact players and long-term prospects. They've added some promising defensive backs, a versatile linebacker, and an offensive lineman who could develop into a key piece for years to come. The emphasis has been on building depth and versatility, knowing that injuries are part of the game, and that a well-rounded roster is essential for sustained success. The Steelers' scouting department continues to do an outstanding job of identifying talent that fits their gritty, no-nonsense style of play. And it's not just about the players. The coaching staff, led by head coach Mike Tomlin, remains one of the most respected in the league. Tomlin's leadership, experience, and ability to motivate his team are crucial elements that keep the Steelers ticking. His focus on discipline, teamwork, and mental toughness is evident in every game they play. As the season approaches, there's a palpable sense of anticipation among players and fans alike, a belief that this could be the year Pittsburgh finally breaks through and makes a serious Super Bowl push again. Looking at the statistics, the Steelers finished last season with a solid record, but they fell just short of the postseason. That disappointment fuels their offseason work. They know what it takes to get back to the top. Their defense ranked among the best in the league last year, especially in sacks and turnovers, which is a hallmark of their identity. Offensively, they showed flashes of brilliance with Kenny Pickett and a solid running game. But consistency has been an issue. That's something they're actively working on to elevate their game to the next level. The hope is that with some strategic additions and continued development of their young core, they'll unlock their full potential. Now, fans, when we talk about expectations for the 2025 season, it's clear that the Steelers aren't just aiming to make the playoffs. They want to contend for the Super Bowl. That has been the goal for decades, and it remains the mindset within the organization. The AFC North, as I mentioned earlier, is incredibly competitive, but Pittsburgh has always been a team that thrives under pressure. They embrace the challenge, and with their talented roster, experienced coaching staff, and passionate fan base, they're poised to make a serious run. The team's culture is built on resilience, hard work, and a never-say-die attitude. That's what separates the Steelers from many other franchises. No matter the adversity, they find ways to stay in the fight, to adapt, and to come out stronger. That's why, even during periods of rebuilding or transition, they remain a formidable force in the NFL landscape. And the 2025 season looks like it might be the year where all these pieces come together, propelling them back into the elite tier of NFL contenders. In terms of key players to watch, aside from Kenny Pickett and TJ Watt, keep an eye on some of the emerging young talent. Wide receiver George Pickens has been developing into a major weapon, and if he continues to progress, he could be a game changer. The running game, led by Najee Harris, remains vital to their offensive identity. And on defense, the young secondary players have the potential to elevate the unit even further, especially if they develop the kind of cohesion that the Steelers have been known for. As far as the division is concerned, the AFC North is set to be one of the most exciting divisions in recent memory. The Ravens are always tough, especially with their innovative offense and a defense that has been historically stingy. The Bengals have a young, explosive offense led by Burrow, and the Browns have reloaded with new talent and a strong coaching staff. But the Steelers, with their balanced approach, seasoned leadership, and a roster that's steadily improving, are quietly positioning themselves to be the team that disrupts the usual order. They are not just participating, they're planning to dominate. The offseason moves, the draft, the strategic planning, all point toward one thing: Pittsburgh is on the rise. They're not just chasing titles, they're setting themselves up for sustained success, building a team that can adapt, compete, and conquer in the long run. The passion of the fans, the integrity of the organization, and the relentless work ethic of the players all come together to make the Steelers a team to watch in the upcoming seasons. And if you're wondering about the long-term outlook, the franchise's history of resilience and their ability to develop talent from within suggest that the best is yet to come. The Steelers have a proven track record of turning potential into championships, and with the current trajectory, they're aiming to add more hardware to their storied collection. The next few seasons could very well be some of the most exciting in franchise history, with Pittsburgh not just competing, but aiming to dominate once again. So, fans, as we await the kickoff of the 2025 season, remember that the Steelers are more than a team, they're a family, a symbol of perseverance and grit. Every offseason move, every play, every game is part of a bigger story, a story of a franchise that refuses to stay down, that always fights back, and that dreams of glory. The AFC North might be changing, but Pittsburgh's identity remains the same: relentless, proud, and ready to reclaim their rightful place at the top of the NFL. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the upcoming training camp is shaping up to be one of the most critical in recent memory. Players are eager to show their progress. Coaches are fine-tuning schemes, and fans are already counting down the days until they can cheer on their team. The Steelers' front office is also busy in the background, exploring all options to keep the team flexible and competitive. They've shown a willingness to adapt, to innovate, and to be aggressive when necessary, qualities that have defined their success over the decades. The importance of team chemistry can't be overstated. Pittsburgh's roster has a good mix of veterans and young players, and that balance is key. Veteran leadership like Cam Hayward and Minkah Fitzpatrick provide stability, while young talents like Pickens and Harris bring energy and potential. The coaching staff has emphasized building a cohesive unit, focusing on discipline, resilience, and mental toughness, qualities that will be essential when the games get tough in December and January. One of the most promising aspects for Steelers fans is the emerging talent on defense. T.J. Watt, of course, remains a game wrecker, a player who can single-handedly change the course of a game with his pass rush. His presence alone elevates the entire defensive line and makes life difficult for opposing quarterbacks. Beyond Watt, the younger players like Alex Highsmith and the secondary prospects are looking to step up and contribute to a defense that could once again be among the league's best. Offensively, the focus is on growth. Kenny Pickett's development is crucial. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency is the name of the game. The team has added offensive linemen through the draft and free agency to protect their quarterback better and open lanes for Najee Harris. The running game remains vital to their identity, a physical, smash-mouth style that keeps defenses honest. If the offensive line can improve and Pickett continues to develop, the Steelers' offense could become more explosive and harder to defend. And speaking of explosiveness, George Pickens is a player who has fans excited. His athleticism, catch radius, and ability to make contested catches make him a potential game-breaker. If he can build rapport with Pickett and become a reliable target, it will open up even more opportunities for the offense. The Steelers' passing attack could see a significant boost, which is critical for their success in today's NFL. But let's not forget special teams and the importance of discipline across the board. Pittsburgh's special teams have historically been solid, and that's another area where they focus on minimizing mistakes and maximizing field position. With a balanced, disciplined approach across all phases, the Steelers can be a tough out for any opponent. Looking at the broader NFL landscape, the league continues to evolve with new strategies, new star players emerging, and the league's parity making every season unpredictable. Yet, amidst all that chaos, Pittsburgh's identity remains unchanged, that blue-collar mentality, the never-say-die attitude that has become their trademark. This identity, combined with a roster that is steadily improving, makes them a team that no one will want to face come playoff time. As fans, we're all incredibly proud of what the Steelers have accomplished over the years, and we're equally excited about what's coming next. The franchise's history is filled with legendary moments, iconic players, and unforgettable victories. And as we look to the future, it's clear that Pittsburgh is not just trying to rebuild, but to reassert itself as the powerhouse it has always been. The road to another Super Bowl is never easy, but with the right moves, the right mindset, and that unbreakable Steelers spirit, they're more than capable of making that dream a reality. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into all things Steelers, remember that the best is yet to come. The team is evolving, the division is heating up, and the NFL's landscape is shifting. But Pittsburgh remains a symbol of resilience, grit, and greatness. The journey toward 2025 is just beginning, and we'll be right here with you, sharing every update, every highlight, and every moment of Steelers history in the making. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.